Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself walking through the ancient streets of Babylon 4,000 years ago, the greatest city the world has ever known. Massive walls stretching to the heavens, gardens that seem to float in the air, gold flowing through the streets like water. And in the midst of all this wealth, you meet a man. His name is Arkad. He's known throughout the city as the richest man in Babylon. But here's what makes his story remarkable. He wasn't born rich. He started with nothing. Just like you, just like me. So how did he do it? How did a poor scribe's son become the wealthiest man and the greatest city on earth? That's what I'm about to share with you. And these aren't just ancient stories. These are the same principles that build wealth today. The same laws of money that worked 4,000 years ago still work now. Because money, you see, follows certain laws, timeless laws. And once you understand them, once you follow them, wealth becomes inevitable. Let me tell you how it all began. A group of men approached Arkad one day. They were his childhood friends. They'd grown up together, gone to the same schools, played in the same streets. But while Arkad had become fabulously wealthy, they remained poor. "You were no smarter than us," they said. "You worked no harder. Yet you have gold and we have nothing. How?" Arkad smiled. "If you want to learn the secrets of wealth, I will teach you. But first, tell me this. If you learn how to acquire gold, will you use that knowledge?" They promised they would. "Then I will tell you how I became rich, and I will tell you the laws of gold that made it possible." The first thing Arkad learned came from a moneylender named Algamish. Young Arkad was working as a scribe, copying laws onto clay tablets, when the old man asked him a question. "If you were to continue doing what you are doing now, what would you become?" Arkad thought about it. "A better scribe, I suppose." "And would that make you rich?" "No." "Then why," Algamish asked, "do you not learn the laws that will?" That day changed everything. Because Algamish taught Arkad the first and most important law of money. Pay yourself first. For every 10 coins you earn, keep one for yourself. Not 9, not 8. 10 coins in, 1 coin stays with you. This is the foundation of wealth. Arkad protested, "But I already spend everything I earn. How can I live on less?" Algamish laughed. "You have been living on 9/10 of your income without knowing it. Can you not live on 9/10 deliberately?" And here's the truth that Arkad discovered. It didn't matter how much he earned. What mattered was how much he kept. He could earn a fortune and still be poor if he spent it all. Or he could earn a modest amount and become wealthy if he kept a portion of everything. So Arkad started. For every 10 coins he earned, he kept 1. At first, it felt difficult. He had to say no to things he wanted. But something remarkable happened. He adjusted. His life didn't collapse. He didn't starve. He simply became more careful with the 9/10 he allowed himself to spend. And the 1/10, it began to accumulate. But here's where most people stop. They save money, and then they let it sit. They hoard it. And hoarding is not wealth building. This is the second law. Make your gold work for you. Algamish asked Arkad, "What would you do with a flock of sheep?" He replied, "I would keep them safe." "And would that grow your flock?" "No. For that, I would need them to have lambs. and those lambs would have more lambs, and soon I would have a great flock." "Exactly," Algamish exclaimed. "Your gold is the same. Each coin is like a sheep. It can produce more gold, which produces even more. Your gold must work. It must earn. It must multiply." So Arkad learned to invest, not to spend, not to hoard, to invest. He lent his saved coins to a shield maker who needed bronze to expand his business. The shield maker paid him back with interest. Arkad's gold had worked while he slept. It had earned him more gold. And he invested those earnings again and again, and the stream of gold flowing into his purse grew from a trickle to a river. But Arkad made mistakes too. This is important. He took his growing wealth and invested it with the brickmaker, who promised great returns. The brickmaker said he knew where to buy rare jewels that could be sold for enormous profit. But the brickmaker knew nothing about jewels. He was swindled, and Arkad's gold was lost. Arkad was devastated. He'd worked so hard, saved so carefully, and now it was gone. But Algamish asked him, "What did you learn?" And this is the third law. Seek advice from those who are wise in handling gold. You gave your gold to a brickmaker to buy jewels. Would you ask a brickmaker to build you a ship? Of course not. Then why ask him about jewels? When you want wisdom about gold, seek those who work with gold every day. The moneylender, the merchant, the successful investor, not your friend who means well but knows nothing. Arkad rebuilt his wealth, but this time he was wiser. He sought counsel from those who had what he wanted. He learned from those who'd actually built fortunes, not those who merely dreamed about it. And his wealth grew faster than before. The fourth law: keep your gold from loss. This seems obvious, but so many people ignore it. They chase high returns, they gamble on risky ventures, they invest in things they don't understand because someone promises them incredible gains. Arkad learned to be cautious. Better a small, certain return than a large, uncertain one. Better to preserve what you have than to risk it all for what you might gain. The principle, your saved gold, is sacred. Protect it. Invest it wisely, but never risk it foolishly. The fifth law: make your home a profitable investment. Arkad didn't believe in throwing money away on rent. He said, why pay another man to live when you can pay yourself? He bought land and built a home. Each month, instead of rent disappearing forever, his payment was building equity, building ownership, building wealth. A home you own is not just shelter, it's an investment that works for you. It reduces your expenses, it gives you security, it can be passed to your children. The sixth law: ensure a future income. A man must prepare for the days when he can no longer work, Arkad taught. For old age comes to all, and death comes eventually. He set aside gold specifically for his old age. He made investments that would continue paying him even when he could no longer earn. He prepared for his family's future, ensuring they would be cared for even after he was gone. This isn't pessimism. This is wisdom. The ant prepares for winter while it's still summer. The wise man prepares for old age while he's still young. The seventh law: increase your ability to earn. The more you know, the more you can earn. The more skilled you become, the more valuable you are. Arkad never stopped learning. He studied, he practiced, he improved his craft. He learned new skills, he cultivated relationships with successful people, he read, he asked questions, he grew. And as he grew, his ability to earn grew with him. Wealth is not just about saving, he taught, it's also about earning more to save more. The man who earns 1 gold coin per day and saves 1/10 has less than the man who earns 2 gold coins per day and saves 1/10. Increase what comes in, not just what you keep. Now, Arkad's friends listened to these laws. Some applied them immediately. Some hesitated, still others ignored them completely. And you know what happened? Those who applied the laws became wealthy, not overnight, not through luck, but steadily, surely, their wealth grew. Those who didn't, they remained exactly where they were. Because these aren't mysterious secrets. They're not complicated. They're simple laws that anyone can follow. But simple doesn't mean easy.
It means you have to actually do it. One of Arkad's students asked him, "Is there a secret to becoming rich quickly?" Arkad shook his head. "Wealth that comes quickly leaves quickly. Wealth that stays is built slowly, coin by coin, investment by investment, year by year. It's built through discipline, patience, and following proven laws." He told them the story of Debasar, a man who'd been enslaved because of his debts. Debasar had lost everything through foolish spending and bad decisions. But even as a slave, he learned a truth. Where the determination is, the way can be found. Debasar escaped slavery and returned to Babylon with nothing. But he made a plan. He would pay his debts, no matter how long it took, and he would live by the laws of gold. He listed everyone he owed. He went to each one and said, "I cannot pay you everything now, but I will pay you. I will give you 1/10 of everything I earn until the debt is cleared." And he kept another 10th for himself. He lived on the remaining 8/10. It took years, but eventually every debt was paid. And by the time they were, Debasar had wealth of his own, because he'd been following the laws of gold the entire time. The creditors respected him. Some even became his partners in business, because a man who keeps his word, even when it's difficult, is a man who can be trusted. Let me tell you about the walls of Babylon. They were massive, impenetrable. They protected the city from invaders for generations. Arkad used this as a metaphor. Your savings are your walls. They protect you from poverty. They protect you from disaster. They protect you from fear. The man who has gold put away can face hardship without panic. He can survive lean times. He can take advantage of opportunities others miss because they have no resources. But the man with no savings, he is vulnerable. One disaster away from ruin, one lost job away from starvation, one illness away from destitution. Build your walls, make them strong, and keep them maintained. Here's something Arkad taught that surprises people. He wasn't against enjoying life. He wasn't teaching miserly poverty. We cannot afford to live without enjoyment, he said, but we must budget for our enjoyments. We must not let them consume everything we have. He believed in living well, but living within your means, in having nice things, but not at the expense of your future, in enjoying today while still preparing for tomorrow. Balance, wisdom, discipline with joy. The merchants of Babylon understood something important. Gold is abundant for those who understand its laws. There's enough for everyone who's willing to follow the principles. This isn't a zero-sum game where your wealth requires someone else's poverty. Wealth creates wealth. Value creates value. When you follow these laws, you don't just enrich yourself, you create opportunities for others. The merchant maker who borrowed from Arkad didn't just pay him back with interest. He used that loan to grow his business, which employed more workers, which served more customers, which generated more prosperity for everyone. Wealth properly used is a blessing to the entire community. Now let me ask you something. As you've been listening to this, have you been making excuses? But I don't earn enough to save. But the economy is different now. But I have too many expenses. But my situation is unique. These are the same excuses people made in Babylon 4,000 years ago, and they were just as invalid then as they are now. The laws of gold don't change. Human nature doesn't change. The excuses don't change. But here's what does change: your life, when you decide to follow these laws. Start where you are, with what you have, today. If you earn 10 coins, keep one. It's that simple. Not someday when you earn more, not next month when things are better. Today. Make that one coin work for you. Invest it wisely, seek good counsel, protect your principal, prepare for the future, increase your earning ability. These laws worked in ancient Babylon. They worked through the rise and fall of empires. They work today. They'll work tomorrow. The question isn't whether they work. The question is, will you work them? Arkad became the richest man in Babylon, not through inheritance, not through luck, not through some secret trick. He became wealthy by learning the laws of gold and following them consistently for years until wealth became inevitable. You have the same opportunity, the same laws, the same potential. 4,000 years separate you from Arkad, but the laws that made him rich are waiting for you right now. Your Babylon is wherever you are. Your gold is whatever you earn. Your wealth is waiting to be built. The question Algamish asked Arkad, I now ask you. If you were to continue doing what you're doing now, what will you become? And if that answer doesn't satisfy you, then isn't it time to learn the laws that will? The richest man in Babylon started with nothing but a willingness to learn and the discipline to apply what he learned. That's all it takes. That's all it's ever taken. The gold is there, the laws are proven, the path is clear. Will you walk it?